I really hope Darren Till isn't taking the whole John Jones route after his loss to Jorge Masvidal in his last fight. Now, luckily, I don't think that's the case. I truly think this story has been blown way out of proportion by a lot of these outlets. Once you look past the headlines of this story, you really start to see that the details here aren't really that serious or can't be that serious just based on the fines and things like that. Now, I'll post the full articles or the full pieces of the articles that I'm talking about here and basically the entire story. So if you want to pause and read those, you can. Otherwise, I'm just going to give a quick summary. So basically, Darren Till and 4 or 5 of his friends are partying in the Canary Islands, right? He's a UFC fighter. He's an up and coming star. It makes sense that he'd be relaxing after a loss, whether that's just to kind of recoup or he just wants to take some time off. Whatever the case may be, they got in a little bit of trouble, right? So they get rowdy, they start smashing up furniture in this luxury hotel, entering fire extinguishers. Of course, they're going to get kicked out. Now, with these luxury hotels and the resort spots, one thing that I guess Darren Till and his friends didn't really understand is that they have a system that's going to allow them to put out basically a beacon anytime they're kicking someone out of the hotel. These other hotels know to look out for these people. They have your ID, all your information, right? Think of everything you give these people when you walk into a hotel or a resort location. It's ID, it's credit card, it's social, it's birth certificate, not that serious, but you know what I mean, right? So they knew what Darren Till and his friends had been up to that night. They knew they had smashed some furniture. Apparently it was around $8,000, $9,000 worth of furniture, which is quite a bit of money, right? But to a guy like Darren Till, it's not really that much money. Let's be real about it. So he's not really bothered by that. So they go to this other hotel to try to get a room after being kicked out of the last one. They know they're coming. They obviously don't get a room. So they call a cab, right? Generally what you would do when you've been drinking and you can't get a hotel, you get a cab and try to figure something out. So they get this taxi, and as the driver is loading their luggage into the trunk, they drive off. Now, this is where the story gets a little bit confusing. There's nothing in the headlines or nothing in any of the articles I read or any of the videos I tried to find that, by the way, there exists 0 of them. But there's nothing in these videos or anything that say Darren Till stole this car, his friends stole this car. If you look at the fines of this, I mean, they were fined like 415 pounds for the damage to the hotel, and that's just like court fines and stuff. They obviously had to pay restitution of the about $9,000, but 415 pounds in court for the damage, and then 310 pounds for authorized or unauthorized use of a vehicle. Now, unauthorized use of a vehicle could be you stole a golf cart at a convention and drove around and drove on 2 wheels through the convention center, right? I mean, that's not saying you stole a car. That's not grand theft auto. And a fine of what, 725 pounds, which it would probably be like 940, 950 US dollars. Obviously, they didn't rob a bank, right? I mean, these guys don't have $1 million bonds on their head. They don't have $100,000 bonds. And if you steal a car, that's what you get. Even if you're a UFC star, when you steal a car, you're getting in trouble. So basically, the rundown of the story, they accepted the responsibility for their actions, as well they should have if they did it. They got a little bit of fine. I don't even think that the UFC is going to reprimand Darren Till for this. I mean, how could they, right? There's so many lacking details in this story that I'm sure the courts have, but if it was really that serious, we would probably have that information by now. So, again, I really think that a lot of the media outlets are blowing this story way out of proportion. All I'm saying is that please look into the details of the story before you start believing that Darren Till is a car theft and all these crazy things that he's wrecking hotels, because he is a hot prospect in the UFC, right? He's a rising star. He has a lot of great potential, and say that whatever, being a bandwagon fan, but I like watching the guy fight. I think he's exciting to watch fight. He's very flashy. He can talk the talk. He can walk the walk. He got beat by Jorge Masvidal, who is game bred, right? I mean, that's his nickname. The guy's a warrior. He grew up fighting in the streets, so that's nothing to hold his head about. So no matter what's going on over in the Canary Islands with Darren Till, I don't think it's as serious as these media outlets are making it out to be. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you all tuning into the video once again. I appreciate all the crazy support on the channel lately too. It's blowing my mind, and it's helping more than you guys understand. So keep it up. Thanks again for all the support. We'll catch you next time.